All right. Hey, welcome to the Citadel for Metal Fellowship and Progressive Rock Central at progressiverockcentral.com. Today we're going to be talking with Sun Q, the band, and actually we have um, Elena. She likes to be called Helen Tehran. She's the lead and backing vocalist for the band, and she, along with Ivan Shelnikov, who also plays guitar, keyboard, and bass, they make up the band. And it's another fantastic new band for me, introduced by Anne from Bad Dog Promotions. And I'm telling you, she sends me the best because every one of these has been fantastic, and this band is no different. And so we'll start out by asking you, tell us a little bit about how you got together and formed the band, how it got started, and then also, if you can, just kind of talk a little bit about Sun Q, why you picked that name. It's an excellent name, but
Okay. Hi, everybody. Hi. Thank you so much for the invitation. It's a pleasure to chat with you. Our band started about 10 years ago in Moscow. I remember attending the rehearsal because a friend of mine mentioned they were looking for a vocalist for a rock band. Um, Before that, I had never sung or performed in a band. In 2017, we released our first album called Charms. And since then, we had singles, we toured around Russia, we had we participated in festivals and played concerts. In 2020, we began recording our second album. We spend a lot of time searching for rare vintage synthesizers, some strange analog stuff to create unique and beautiful sound.
they
Lots
do.
of guest musicians were also involved in these recordings. Mm, and despite all the challenges, we managed to release our Myth in the end of the last year. So the name, it's not really an interesting story behind the name. It's just we love uh, all that's about space and cosmos a lot. And Ivan, has his stage name like Johnny Q. So Q, it's like his last name. And
Oh,
I thought it would be nice to put his last name in the name of the band. So the band has name and last name.
excellent. And she mentioned to me before we started that they moved to Georgia, which is a lot sunnier and warmer and more beautiful. So maybe it's a little influence of that as well, huh?
Huh.
The sun.
I moved. The sun was earlier. Maybe we wanted this symbol to be um, like a part of something uh, beautiful, big, that gives light, that gives hope, that gives uh, warm. I don't know. It's a very powerful symbol, I think.
That's good to hear because, oh, excuse me, there's a lot of the other coming out of Russia. So it's wonderful to hear. I've had about two or three different people here now that I've talked to that just have that positive attitude and want to, now that they're out of that area, they are able to be free and really enjoy the fruits of their hard work and be creative again. And so I'm happy to hear that, and happy to hear you guys are doing well. And what an
Thank
album!
you.
what an album. Tell us a little bit about the idea about the myth. A lot of people have been using that sort of as part of their album titles and things like that. How do you look at myths, or what would you describe as one of the biggest myths that you've encountered?
Um, we've been influenced by dark fairy tales, these myths, and other symbolic, metaphorical, and mystical stuff a long time ago. Our first album describes a lot of these things, and it's something eternal for us. And I like this word. It's very simple, yet um, uh, it is understood by everybody. By myth is something uh, very common to all the people around the planet, uh, and we wanted this to be more universal. No boundaries at all, no musical boundaries, no genre boundaries, only universal and eternal feeling. Um,
What are some big
so
universal myths that you have encountered in your life?
um, I think one of the universal myths is about the sun and the moon, and it's you can find it in our song. It's called "I Am the Sun." So it's one symbol, very common. I think very old. Um, of course, we were influenced by ancient Greek myths. So our first single, which is called Dionysus, is about the
Yeah.
ancient Greek god of wine. Yeah, he he is a true rock and roller. He's
Mhm.
very joyful.
Yeah.
Uh, we thought that combining psychedelia, stoner rock, and ancient Greece would be an interesting idea.
Yeah. Well, Jim Morrison has been associated with him from the Doors.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, so to say, the Doors were inspired by Aldous Huxley's work, The Doors of Perception. And our last song on the album, called Crystal Doors, is inspired by this work too. And I like it so much because this ending always gives me goosebumps. I love Aldous Huxley's work, and this mantra feeling. It mm, sounds like a spell to me. I love it so much.
Yes.
So yeah, these are the influences.
Is that how it feels when you're on stage singing? Do you feel that? Um,
Like I'm telling a mantra or a spell,
yeah, like
maybe.
you're
Yeah.
feeling. Do you feel that when you're singing? Because it looks like it.
Uh, yeah, maybe. I feel a lot of things on the stage, uh, and uh, uh, and I miss it so much.
Excuse me.
I love the feeling of this mystical energy, yeah, that floats. And sometimes I even don't know if it is myself on the stage or some another kind of myself, like
You leave
uh,
your. You have that.
even some of the listeners, yeah, who know me pretty well in the real life, uh, used to tell me that I'm a different person on the stage.
Yeah,
I don't know uh, if it's true, but sometimes it feels like that.
definitely. Will you be touring with the album, and where and when?
I'd love to. I'd love to, but planning something like that is quite challenging right now at the moment. We remain hopeful for the future, but it's very hard to tell any specifics right now.
Okay. Well, you've had a few live shows and you have that fantastic group of people that you bring together. It almost looks like a family or I know they're not all family, but it's such a exciting thing. I mean, it looks like something out of the 60s or, that kind of thing, which is
Yeah.
wonderful. I mean, we hope that those kinds of things continue. And is that the feeling you get when you're with all those people and they're all contributing?
Yes, and this feeling continues while recording because a lot of guest musicians were recording our second album, and our main goal was um, to make them believe in this music as we do, to make them live with this myth, to make them be as happy with it as we are, you know. Um, uh, I don't know if it feels like a family, but it feels like a very friendly circle, very united, something united by music.
Working together to create something of value that you guys absolutely love. You can tell just by the way you perform and play, and everyone plays and does a fantastic job. It's a great album. Let's talk
Thanks.
about it. So your mission was the essence of a power existing beyond our five senses. And I wrote, yes, mission accomplished. You definitely have that feeling. And especially with the opening track, Jane Doe, it just, you couldn't have picked a better opening track. Have you ever heard of the band Sienna Root? I compared you to them.
Yes, I've heard about it, band. I I actually don't listen much to it, but I've heard it.
All right. Well, if you get a chance, definitely listen to their last album. You'll find a lot of similarities, and I think you'll like that music. It's kind of a
All
Americana,
right.
bluesy
Mm-hmm.
Americana kind of feel to it. But anyway, you really channeled some of the famous American blues and rock that I grew up with, and it in that song, and it just talk about how that song came together. It's a great song.
Jane Doe.
Yes,
Uh-huh. Um, let me remember how it came out. It's a
sure.
very old song. Actually, it is like from I think 2016 or like, and it had another name. I like that idea that every person has a lot of different personalities within himself, and uh, in the morning and the day and the evening and the night for different personalities, and they change, and it's like your mood changes or your style or your thoughts. I like that idea, and it also has something like I don't know, psychiatrical when you
Oh,
have
no.
depersonalization, when you don't really understand at the end who are you in your reality. Yeah. So it's something about that. Yeah, about not knowing who you really are, and uh, wanting to discover it, to get it at the end. and when you are maybe even just a little bit afraid of who you will become, or when you don't know, yeah, you're just a little bit afraid of it. Maybe it's this feeling we get.
A little bit of fear. All right. And
Mhm.
I mentioned that you sound like Joan Osborne. Did you get a chance to listen to her? And would you say you sound like her, or she?
Maybe a little bit, yeah. I love Joan Osborne. Maybe. I've listened to many female vocalists, and I think uh, a lot of influences came together. So I can uh,
Who would you compare
sometimes,
yourself?
yeah, sometimes I sing like Dolores O'Riordan, yeah, when
Oh,
this yodel thing
yeah.
come out. Uh, Sometimes I I love comparing myself to, I don't know, I don't love comparing myself to no one, of
Well, yeah.
course.
No, you have a unique voice, but
Yeah. Um, no, a lot of influences from Florence and the Machine, from Aurora, from uh, the Knife. I like trip hop music. I listen to Morchiba.
all right.
A lot of stuff. Yeah.
Now, children's singing is one of those songs where you bring in a lot of people, and I think there's even some sounds that sound like choirs, and it's just a really everyone's included and everyone's pulling together. Talk a little bit about how that came together, because that's another one of the best songs on the album.
Yeah. Thanks. Children's singing is inspired by the poem of Joseph Brodsky. Uh, I loved that it's like a lullaby, and I wanted
Yeah.
to make this lullaby uh, and to make it more progressive. So if you listen carefully, you will find some prog rock influences in it.
Oh yeah.
We wanted to make the very huge catharsis in the end, yeah. So we invited an American choir, a gospel choir. So they made this uh, chorus very huge and powerful.
Yeah.
Um, I like the contrasts in this song. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's very powerful and loud. Uh, what more can I say about children? Children is one of my favorite too. I put a lot of my heart in it, and I like that my love to the poetry of Joseph Brodsky uh, uh, came out like this song. Um, we um, we receive a lot of warm feedback about this song, particularly.
Oh, definitely.
Uh, yeah, maybe it has something in it, something magical, something comforting,
That does.
because it's actually a lullaby, but a strange one.
Mhm. Okay. Um, Tree is an interesting song. It maybe it's a comment on nature, global warming, the earth.
Um, No, actually, it's
No.
not about ecology at all.
Oh,
It's about not mm, uh, when you cannot escape from yourself, when you cannot escape, and you're like a tree. Uh, your roots are in the soil, and uh, you only can wish to running away, but you are a tree. So, uh,
you're
you
stuck.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, there was a silly um, phrase like uh, when don't tell if you don't if you can't do something with your life. You're not a tree. When you don't like something, just walk away. Like this was a popular phrase somewhere. You're not a tree, you can change your life.
Oh,
And
okay.
I thought it would be cool to write a song about if you are a tree, so you cannot change anything at all. Yeah, that's a pretty pessimistic song, I think. Mm,
All right. And I even hear a little Led Zeppelin Cashmere in there, which I love. Um,
yeah.
the just that Eastern kind of influence, which was excellent. So thank you. Um, are you a fan
Yeah,
of?
we love Led Zeppelin.
Who doesn't?
And
Yeah, exactly.
who doesn't?
Yeah. It's almost, if you're going to be a rocker, yeah, it's like the Beatles. Yeah. All right. And then Animals is another straight ahead rocker. Um, tell me what that story is about. And on this one, you actually sound a little bit like Dolores O'Riordan of the Cranberries. Do you remember them? Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Animals is about uh, not some not some animals that live with you on the countryside. Actually, they are some spirits that
Oh, okay.
guard your soul. It's about spirits, guardians, and they are always there for you. They're always helping you on your way. Uh, it's a very shamanic song.
Oh,
I wanted it to be with medieval vibe. So we invited uh, a great musician, Asa Sorsneva, and she recorded uh, Swedish uh, Swedish instrument, nyckelharp. Nyckelharp is a very medieval instrument, and it added this vibe. Um, and everybody asks, "What's are there
where
some?"
did you get that?
Yeah, it was a quest to get it, uh, but we found it. We found it by Instagram on hashtags. So
Oh,
I just found it, and I wrote to Asha, will you play this nickel harpa for us for one song? And yeah, and she was in St. Petersburg, and we were in Moscow, and we waited her um, to get to Moscow to record it. Um, it was the first time we even see this instrument by ourselves with our eyes.
wow.
Yeah, it was nice. It was very interesting. So animals, it's very shamanic and something that guards our soul during vulnerable times, I think.
Yeah. All right. And then Dionysus, we talked a little bit about it. But yeah, definitely this sounds like something that came out of the 60s or something. It's really excellent. Talk a little bit about the song and maybe singing it live if you have, or um, what are the feelings you get when you play that song?
This song is like good radio killer, you know.
Yeah.
It's short and it has this riff. Um, when you're just in your kitchen, you know, and you sing this riff, you understand that it's a good riff because you can sing it while preparing food or anything else. Mm, yeah, just we just thought it's intriguing and fun to combine this ancient Greece and stoner rock and to make uh, our first single about this ancient god. He's so um, and we even depicted Bachante on our art cover of the single, and she's topless.
No,
She, yeah, she has tambourine in her hands. I even
I don't think I saw
searched.
it. Mm.
Oh, you should see it.
We'll have to
Uh,
look. Yeah.
we made some merch with this Bachante. So we have T-shirts and bags, shoppers with it. Uh, she's very nice. I even searched on the internet for very uh, Greek profiles because she had to be very um, authentic. it,
Yeah.
it means a lot to me. So everything should be very authentic, and her nose should be very Greek. And thanks to our um, uh, artist Vinicius Santos, who's from Brazil. Yeah, he depicted her very very good. I think she's in this dance. Uh, it's it was very important to uh, her to look like she's uh, in the um, Vakhanalea dance. I think. I don't know.
What
Like she's
like a belly dance type thing, or
no. It's like she's an ancient Bacchante, and she's really after Dionysus. You know.
Mhm. Have you thought about doing more videos now that you're bringing that up? Um, creating some
Ah,
videos to support some of the songs.
yeah. The videos need a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I would love to see actually all of the songs with their video.
Which would be the
But
first one if you had, just a
hmm,
limited budget? Which one would you do first?
unlimited budget, all of them. If I have unlimited budget,
No,
why
no,
not?
limited. You only have,
Unlimited
yeah.
for one. Hmm.
Yeah, if you only had one. I mean, hopefully I agree with you. I think they all are mystical and have a very visual effect to them. But if you had to choose one, which one would you start with?
That's a tough question. Okay, let this be Dionysus, I think.
Oh, okay.
Why not?
And why?
Because the image is very bright, because uh, it reminds something that maybe everybody misses, something ancient, wild, uh, soulful, magical. It can be very beautiful.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
yeah, and these wild dances, maybe somewhere in the forest,
Yeah.
grapes of vineyards.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of ideas in my head.
Or
I
by
just
the sea.
yeah,
Excellent. All right. Um, so hopefully, yeah, hopefully you'll come out with a video because that really
thanks.
it
I'd love to.
I just finished doing a review for another band and they've got like 5 videos out and it just helps tell the story a little bit better and gives you a vision of the band performing and things like that. And when you are having trouble performing, it's a great way of getting out there and showing people what it would be like if you could get on stage. And sometimes that rallies people and they say, I want this band on stage. I want to see these guys live. So
Yeah, definitely.
it
Mhm.
helps. I know it costs money, but sometimes it actually helps make more money just by people saying, God, I want to see this. I want to see this live. All right. So I Am the Sun has got to be one of your favorite songs. I loved it. But tell us a little bit about that because that, kind of sums up what you're trying to do, maybe.
Yeah, it draws inspiration from myths surrounding the sun and the moon, like timeless symbols. They resonate with everyone. And we wanted this song to be very uh, quiet and delicate at the beginning, and to um, continue with more and more instruments.
Draw people
We've
in.
got we've got that percussion uh, from Andrei Tanzu. He's a very famous per percussionist in Russia. So uh, he gave this tribal vibe in
Oh,
it.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wish um, I wish this song can be performed with some tribal dancers,
Oh,
because I
yeah.
see this image with tribal dancing, and I am the sun. Um, what more can I say? I like the ending because it's very disco.
Hmm.
And I thought we thought it would be fun to combine some tribal uh, trance-like psychedelia with some funky disco in the end, and
And
with
you did it.
choir.
Yeah.
Yeah, the choir is from Uganda, and
Oh, wow.
they did it really great, really well. Um, this phrase, and light a flame, and light a flame, and I wanted it to sound great. This phrase.
Yeah. We're about to get.
It's
Oh, sorry.
uh-huh. It's
I was just
also